Hello, everyone. Do I need to see any of my books in a store? Now, a lot of writers, the only reason that they pursue traditional publishing is because they want to see their books in stores. And I don't really think anymore, especially if you're aware of the industry and how it is going, it has anything to do with money. Because I'm sure there are many self-published authors who are selling their books exclusively online, who are making far more money than than authors who have their books in stores. So it's not really a question of money at this point. It's more a question of pride and vanity, frankly, of seeing your book in a store, because that somehow is a physical representation of you making it, so to speak. And I think the reason why we have this attitude is because a lot of us, the 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 way we became readers is we purchased books in stores or checked them out from the library or whatever, and that's how we became readers. So I think some of this is almost nostalgic in nature, that we can be among the authors who inspired us when we were younger. Um, but at the same time, I'm thinking, but again, so it's really a question of pride. It's not really a question of um money at this point. But at the same time, I think that I don't know if it's worth it to try if it's worth it for an independent author to try to get their books into stores, because, for example, independent authors can get their books into some stores, but it's a lot harder. Like, for example, like, independent authors don't have the same kind of distribution services as traditionally published authors. So independent authors, if they want their book in a store, they have to go to every individual store and basically ask the manager, "Hey, would you be willing to carry my book?" And it all depends. If the manager is friendly to indie authors, then perhaps. Sometimes it may not even be a question of indie or traditional, but is your book popular? Fine. If it's not popular, no, 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 thank you. Go away. And that's another thing, is that I don't know if it's if it's worth traditional published authors to it's worth pursuing traditional publishing just to get your book in a store. Because here's the thing: if your book does not do well, then it will be pulled from stores within a few months. They don't keep books on the shelves that they're not selling. They will pull them in a few months. And so this idea that your book will be in stores for years, that's simply not true. But now I will admit that I personally, when it comes to, and again, but again, in indie authors, though, will not even get their books released nationwide. They will mainly have their books in a few, perhaps, local stores, and that will be about it. Um, but I personally, but again, I don't know if it's worth it to pursue traditional publishing for that reason, because your book is very likely not even going to be in stores long term. But at the same time, I've always been nervous about approaching managers and saying, "Hey, you want to carry my book?" Because it's just awkward to ask for things like that. Um, and like I won't even ask my cousin, who runs the local library where I live, if they will carry even my latest books, because I'm afraid to ask even her, because of perceived nepotism and things like that. But it's just but no, because it can be awkward to ask for such things when people aren't really familiar with you, and if they're rude, then there's always the potential that you can get into an argument, and it's just which has almost happened a couple of times. And so I haven't really asked for that reason. And so but no, I would say that there is a part of me that wants my book into some stores for mainly vanity and pride reasons. But it's not really a matter, though, of money, because I could make more money online than I could ever into in than I could ever in a store. And so I don't really think it's worth pursuing traditional publishing, though, for that reason alone, because it likely wouldn't even I likely wouldn't even achieve the goal that I would be attaining. And um and and I'm afraid, in some sense, to ask, local businesses to carry my books because of the situations that could arise. But there's a part of me again that would like to, but at the same time, it's not really a question of money because I can make I can make more money online than I ever could in an actual store. So it's complicated because it's not really a matter of again a matter of finance. It's purely a matter of pride, vanity. But at the same time, I think as authors, we need to realize that that our success is not measured by whether or not our book is in a store. If people are, if I would rather be read and not be in a store than have a book on a shelf that is never read. And so I think that's what's more important in the end. Having your book in a store is just icing on the cake.